What's the scariest thing you've ever inherited? It started 3 months ago when Amy came to visit for Thanksgiving. She walked through my front door, took one look at me, and screamed so loud the neighbors called the cops. When she finally stopped hyperventilating, she kept pointing at my neck saying, it's gone, your head is gone. I thought she was having a breakdown. Stress from her divorce maybe. I took her to the hospital, but every test came back normal. The doctor said it might be a specific delusion focused on me. They prescribed antipsychotics. Amy took them religiously, but nothing changed. Every time she looked at me, she saw a headless body walking around. She'd close her eyes when I talked because she said my voice came from nothing, just empty space above my shoulders. I tried everything. Stood in front of mirrors with her, had other people confirm my head was there, even took selfies together. In the photos, she could see my head fine, but the second she looked at me directly, gone. Just a neck stump. She started avoiding me, wouldn't come to family dinners, wouldn't answer my calls. When Mom forced us together for Christmas, Amy sat with her eyes shut the entire meal. She accidentally looked at me once while passing the potatoes and vomited on the table. That's when I started researching. Not medical journals, but other stuff. Old forums, archived websites, occult databases. I found 3 similar cases. People who suddenly saw specific family members as headless. All 3 stories ended the same way. The person seeing the headless figure died within 6 months. Heart attack, car accident, sudden illness, always 6 months exactly. Amy was at month 3 when I found this pattern. I dug deeper into those cases, found a connection. Each person who saw someone headless had recently inherited something that wasn't meant for them. An old woman who saw her headless son had taken his father's watch after the funeral, despite the will leaving it to him. A teenager who saw his headless sister had claimed their grandmother's ring that was specifically left to her. The third case, a man seeing his headless brother, had contested and won their parents' house that was originally willed to the brother. Amy had inherited our aunt's Victorian mirror 2 weeks before she started seeing me headless. Aunt Helen's will had clearly stated the mirror was mine. She'd even called me before dying to make sure I knew. But Amy convinced the executor she'd verbally promised it to her instead. I hadn't fought it because it was just a mirror. Except it wasn't just a mirror. I drove 14 hours to Salem where Aunt Helen had lived, found her elderly neighbor who remembered the mirror's history. That mirror had been in our family for 7 generations, passed from one chosen keeper to another, always to someone who'd shown what the neighbor called the sight. I'd had vivid dreams as a kid, knew things before they happened sometimes. Amy hadn't. The mirror wasn't just an inheritance, it was a responsibility. And taking it from its intended keeper triggered something. A curse, a protection, call it whatever. The neighbor gave me a water-damaged journal that had belonged to Aunt What's the Scariest Thing You've Ever Inherited? Helen's grandmother. Most was illegible, but one entry was clear. It described a ritual. If someone stole the mirror from its rightful keeper, the thief would see the keeper as headless. A warning. Return the mirror or face death at 6 months. But there was another way. The keeper could pass the curse to someone else who'd wronged them, someone who'd stolen something precious. The curse would transfer completely, immediately. The original thief would be freed, but the new target would have only 3 months before their death. I thought about Amy, my sister who'd lied about Aunt Helen's wishes, who'd taken what was mine, but she was still my sister. Then I thought about Doug, my business partner who'd embezzled $200,000 from our company last year, destroyed my credit, cost me my house. I'd never pressed charges because he'd threatened to harm my family if I did. He'd stolen 5 years of my life and work. Amy was at 5 months, getting sicker each day she saw me headless. I made my choice. I drove to Doug's office with the journal, told him I wanted to make peace, let bygones be bygones, even brought coffee as a peace offering. While he gloated about getting away with the theft, I completed the ritual. 7 words in Latin, his full name, and a drop of my blood on his coffee cup while he was distracted. He drank it while laughing about how stupid I'd been to trust him. The change was instant. Amy called me crying with relief. She could see my head again. The curse was gone. She apologized for taking the mirror, said she'd return it immediately. I told her to keep it. It had served its purpose. Doug called me that night screaming incoherently about my head being missing, about seeing me in his office as some headless monster. I told him he had 3 months to make peace with whatever God he believed in. He begged for answers, but I hung up.